Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me once again for Get Your Money Right with Yvonne. I'm Yvonne. How's it going? Listen, for those of you looking for the channel about how to save for retirement, you are indeed in the correct place. Thank you for joining us. Listen, as we like to start these out every single time, I want to ask you, how are you doing? How are you faring? How is it going? It's the holiday season. It can be a stressful time of year, money wise. I know, I get it. And we just want to, the thing we do here is just checking in. This is a place where we can share and just kind of talk through some things. And I just want to know how you are. Just know that there is somebody thinking of you and wishing for your success and just wishing the best for you. So I always want to do that because we're all struggling with something, whatever it might happen to be. And folks in their busy lives just kind of forget to check in with others. So I just wanted to do that for you. Okay. And if you want to join this community, just think on it. Just enjoy this show, and we'll talk about it at the end. But it's just kind of a place where we would just love to hear from you if you'd like to share. So with that, how's it going with me? Pretty well. I don't really have any issues, any real concerns. For those of you who've been with me for a while, I am just hitting the student loan payments as hard as I possibly can. And it amazes me how much money is going out every month paying that bill. But it's not that I didn't expect to pay it. It's just, I thought I would be in a different position financially by now. And, I guess it is what it is. And I'm just doing the best I can, just hitting it as hard as I possibly can. Because within 4 years, I expect to be done. So whatever I need to do that is what I'm doing. But, there's this balancing act, right? Paying back my student loan and funding my retirement. So, what have I been doing with that? So, I look at stories on a regular basis, just people, just trying to navigate everything and just make sure that they've done what they can to secure their futures. And so many people are asking, well, how much do I have to put away in my retirement account? It's going to be different for all of us. But the one thing you have to remember is you have to take that first step. It's just going to be on you. Once you do that, you can kind of build steam and momentum and get yourself to where you need to be. And we'll talk about percentages here in just a little bit. But the whole business of what we've earned in a lifetime. The last show, I was just kind of thinking, wait a minute, if you make $50,000 a year for 20 years, you've made $1 million. Okay, you've made and you've spent $1 million. And the question becomes, how much of that did you keep for you? Yeah, you paid bills, great, but did you take care of yourself first? And that's really how we're going to play this game, right? This retirement game, to kind of buy our way out of the working world. So you have to take that step. I had to take that step. It's just what we do. And so many people ask, well, what do you start with? 5%. I'm just going to throw that out there. 5% of your pre-tax income to go into your retirement account. It's something for you to build on, and each year add another percent that you're putting away. And that's what I was doing. Any pay raises I got, first thing I'd ask my boss, what's the percentage increase? And that would be the percent I would increase my 401k contributions. It was just what I did. Do what works for you. I'm not going to say I have the one size fits all plan, but it's just think about that. Start with that 5%. And if your employer is one that does any sort of matching, just make sure you're not leaving money on the table. It is free money for you to fund your retirement. So get it. Do what you have to do to put yourself in that position of taking care of yourself. And, when I was saying pay yourself first, one of these shows we were talking about, do I have a blank piece of paper here? Let me just see. Where we were talking about, what you do is you take out that blank piece of paper. The first thing you want to put down is how much you're bringing in pay wise, and you already, well, hopefully, will already have signed yourself up for a retirement plan. So when you get that paycheck, that money has already come out for you. So you are putting away for your future. The first item on that line after your pay is paying yourself first. And what does that mean? It means you're putting aside money for, regular savings, for emergencies, for I put money away for insurance and to pay tax. All of those things I pay myself first because I am as important, if not more important, than my creditors. Okay? Pay yourself first, then go down. What were your bills? If there's any sort of a shortfall, if you are running in the negative, okay, what do you need to do? What do you need to change to bring that to a point where you are even? I did that many years ago, and it forced me to look at things. It forced me to think, okay, is there any savings to be had from any of this? And there almost always was. There was always paying too much on whatever it happened to be, whether it be my phone bill, my streaming service, my insurance. There were always savings to be had when you stopped and looked at it. I was telling you guys a few months ago about my insurance. It was clicking. At first, when I got it, it's like, oh, this is so reasonable. I love this. Then each year, it would tick up, tick up, tick up. And, my thinking was, okay, well, I can cover this. It's okay. Except for maybe the fifth or sixth year, I can't remember exactly what. I was like, this is getting to be so high that I'm struggling to make this payment. Okay. And what I did was then I started shopping around. Who else can I go to for my insurance? Because this is getting out of hand. I can't do this anymore. And I made the decision to switch all of our auto insurances to a different company. And I went to the previous one and said, I'm terminating my service. It's been great working with you, but the cost has become prohibitive for me. And my agent, she's wonderful. One day maybe I can go back to her, but she said, next time, check with us first, see what we can do. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. If you could have done something, why didn't you do it to begin with? You could have kept me. And that's something to think about. Keep your clients as opposed to, it's got to be cheaper to keep the clients that you have rather than trying to get new ones. Just a thought for business people. Do what you can to preserve the business that you have. Just throwing it out there. Something for folks to think about out there. So I found savings, and then I was able to, balance myself because that first line where I'm paying myself first, that was the one area I would not compromise on because you never know. My car, what's it, 4 years old, and we knew that we needed new tires for it. And luckily, because I had planned for it, cash, well, put it on a credit card, yes, and get the points because you got to get the points, and then turn right around and paid it off. So just having that money set aside to take care of yourself, to any sort of emergencies that pop up, you take care of it. Oh, and speaking of emergencies, you know me, I'm reading these money stories, right? And one family, their daughter, young daughter, is in dance. And oh, that's so wonderful. Well, they decided they needed money to pay for an away session for the kids. When they go traveling, the parents had to foot the bill for any costs. And they decided that taking money from their emergency fund might be a good use to pay for that expense for their daughter. Okay, we've all got our definitions, right? That's not an emergency. That's money you should have been planning for all along. Emergencies are the things that pop up that can hurt the bottom line of the family. And, whether it be repairing your furnace, whatever it happens to be, buying those tires. Okay, you can't drive around on bald tires. When we took them in and we're looking at the tread, it's like, wow, we got a lot of use out of this, but it was beyond its useful life, these tires. And so, we got the new ones, and then you're putting your finger in the tread and going, that's way different. Those are emergencies, those things that pop up, not a trip that you want to take with your young children. That you got to plan for yourself, folks. Take care of you, take care of the family. Keep an eye on those expenses because there are ways to cut that. Just think about it. And during these sessions, I like to kind of talk about my change jar. I am just a few cents shy of $50 here in early to mid-December. And, I was kind of, because, while I talk about my change jar, and my sister and some of my friends just bust out laughing, like, girl, please stop that. But it hit me this week why it is so important for me. Psychologically, you do things you kind of don't know, and you think about it, and you come up with a reason. Okay, the way I am looking at putting money away in this change jar is the same way I'm viewing my retirement finances. People go, well, how much should I put away for retirement? Well, we already discussed at least 5%, but every dollar, every cent you put away is one step closer to your goal, whatever it happens to be for you. And so, when I put money away in this jar, because I try to, as much as possible, when I go to the store, is to buy everything using cash. And then I get change back. And then I come home and put it in this jar. So every cent I have gets me closer to that $50 to $60 every single year that I'm putting away. But that same mentality is helping me to grow my retirement account. And once I kind of went through that, I'm like, okay, I get that. And no matter what it is, no matter how small it is, because one day, literally, I put in 2 cents. Okay, that's 2 cents more than I had to begin with that day. And you just keep going. So within another few days, I will hit the $50 mark that I always hit at the very least every year. And you just have to think of your retirement in that same way. Every little bit helps. And each year we're earning our salary, put money away. From that, save for your future. Yep, you got to take care of today, but you have to take care of tomorrow as well. Just keep that in mind. You are as important, if not more so, obviously, than anything else. So take care of yourself. One step at a time, however that works for you, please do it. And at the very beginning, I said, if you like these and you want to become a part of the community, we would love to have you. So this is completely free. Okay, I do this because I never had this opportunity in my younger years. It would have been nice to talk to people who understand. I read these stories from millionaires. Many of them are multimillionaire money managers who do these, and sometimes they'll say things I can't connect with. I want to get as much information as I can, but sometimes you just can't connect. So I'm doing this because those of us, who make less than $100,000 a year, or maybe you earn more, but you want to learn how to put money away for your future, please join us where it says subscribe. Just do that. And what that means is whenever I produce these videos, it comes straight to you in your email. You can see it. You can file it away. You can, before you file it away, share it with other people, because sometimes you just don't know what you don't know, and just sharing with people, having them think about money, having them think about their futures, that's just what we need. Okay, so we'd just love to have you. I would love to hear from you. Every now and again, people will send me a note, or at the very least a thumbs up, just to say whatever I shared connected with them. We love it. Who knows, whatever you share can show up on these podcasts, and I've done that. People will give me a note, and it's the subject of the next one of these that we do. So please connect. We would love to have you. Okay? Now, with that, I thank you so much for joining me once again for Get Your Money Right with Yvonne. I'm Yvonne, and until next time, okay? You take care. Be good to yourselves and to others. Take care, okay? Bye-bye.